Man boobs, or gynaecomastia, affects half of all men. While it can be frustrating, there are some simple steps you can take to turn the moobs into something a little more muscular. Before we start discussing how to get rid of man boobs, know this: you're not alone. Man boobs, or gynaecomastia, as it's known medically, affects at least half of all men worldwide to varying degrees, and isn't always linked to poor health, with hormone imbalance the largest factor in determining whether you have a flat chest or some extra tissue to contend with. More on this later. So, what can cause man boobs? And how can we start getting rid of some of that unwanted extra? If you're looking to trim your top half down a little bit, you're in the right place. Below, we cover everything from the causes, recommendations for getting rid of them, and workouts that'll help. Causes: hormone imbalance. Research shows that gynecomastia can be indicative of a hormonal imbalance in the body. Breast tissue in both men and women feeds off estrogen. Typically, women have higher levels of estrogen in the body, and men have more endocrine hormones like testosterone. The moob occurs when a man's estrogen to androgen ratio is out of balance, causing extra breast tissue to grow. Being overweight. This one's pretty simple. According to the NHS, excess fat is a significant contributor to the overproduction of estrogen, so the more fat you store, the more likely you are to develop some degree of gynecomastia. On a more surface level, more fat can also enlarge the breast tissue on its own. While this is one of the more common causes of man boobs, losing weight and exercising more doesn't always improve the condition, but there's no harm in giving it a go for general health reasons. Age. Age can be a factor in the development of gynecomastia at both ends of the timeline. During puberty, as your hormones fly all over the shop, a drop in testosterone will lead to a higher estrogen level and some extra tissue. You might not remember it, but it happens to most teenage boys, and usually clears up as hormone levels become more stable. Similarly, as men get older, they produce less testosterone, leading to a similar imbalance. We also tend to have more body fat as we age, which can be another contributor to estrogen production. From young to old, moobs are just around the corner. The circle of life, everyone. How to get rid of man boobs? Lose weight. This is probably the first stop for many men wanting to tackle the condition. It's widely accepted that adipose tissue, or fat, can increase the production of estrogen. Research has found that as fat mass increases in obesity, aromatase, an enzyme that turns other hormones into estrogen, expression and consequently estrogen levels are also elevated. Basically, your fat could be secreting moob-boosting hormones. Don't just stick to the weights room though, even if it seems tempting to bench your way to a flat chest. Cardio is a great way to lose weight, veering away from a more sedentary existence to an active lifestyle. Through something as simple as getting outside for a half an hour a day is one of the best things you can do if you're looking to lose a little off the sides. Losing excess weight is commonly a handy way of dealing with any gynecomastia, and even if it doesn't solve the problem, you'll feel better regardless. Eat properly. This is important. Nutrition is key to losing, say, belly fat, but you still have to eat properly. Don't diet, starve yourself, or nibble on rabbit food. Swinging to this extreme is proven to be counterproductive, as drastically restricting food intake has not only been shown to reduce testosterone levels, but can induce something known as refeeding gynecomastia. According to research published in the Journal of Pharmacology and Pharmacotherapeutics, the first reported case of refeeding gynecomastia was discovered during World War II, with prisoners liberated from camps developing the condition on the resumption of a normal diet after weeks of malnutrition. While this is an extreme case study, it highlights the dangers of food deprivation. While you might think you're doing the right thing, the reality is you could be doing more harm than good. Ditch the drink. We all know that alcohol is packed with calories. It's a close second to dietary fat in terms of its calorie density, but that isn't the main issue here. Research published in the Journal of Pharmacology and Experimental Therapeutics found that alcohol intake produces a suppression of plasma testosterone. So not only are the extra calories likely to produce more lumber, but alcohol itself can create a hormonal imbalance. The NHS lists alcohol misuse as a potential cause of gynecomastia. And researchers from the UCLA School of Medicine in Los Angeles also say that alcohol history should be taken into consideration when treating the condition. In other words, if you have any unwanted cleavage and drink a lot, then cutting back on booze is a sensible, practical move. Becoming one with the bench. Learn to love the bench press. It's arguably the most comprehensive exercise for your chest. But exercises with such large, heavy compound movements will help to tip your hormonal ratio back from cleavage to heavage. That's according to research published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology and Occupational Physiology, which found that levels of testosterone significantly increased after heavy resistance training.